a fan of scam by these. Scam by these, a fan of scam flumpies. I like it's fun out and a scam flumpies.
This is not the 10,000 subscriber video that I wanted to make. A couple of weeks ago, I asked for Q&A questions and people submitted some. I'm very grateful to those people. I had planned a whole production around this thing. The first half of the video would be a very noodle style Q&A video, and then at some point it would devolve into this dirty, grimy nightmare. There was going to be live action footage for this stuff. It was going to be so cool. I'd already finished the script, and then I had one of the busiest weeks at work I've had in maybe a year. Now, my voice is on the verge of disappearing because of the strep throat my coworker infected me with. I am so tired. I'm extremely employed, so much so that it's starting to eat away at my soul at a pace I thought I had stopped in late 2024. That's fine. It is what it is, I suppose. Whatever. Being too tired to make the videos that I want to make is torture, but in this particular instance there was a lot more stopping me from actually following through with this particular project. It didn't feel sincere. It felt like I was trying to do YouTuber shit, and that felt hollow because I am not a YouTuber. This isn't me staking out some Kane Parsons-esque I am an artist who happens to post videos on YouTube. No, the videos I make are YouTube videos. In the most derogatory sense of that term, they have very little value outside of the context of this platform. I am aware of that. What I mean by I am not a YouTuber is that there's this invisible wall between me and all the guys who upload on here professionally. I remember 5 years ago I heard C-Dog VA on Trash Taste say something to the effect of, there's nothing more pathetic or embarrassing than seeing someone adding YouTube on Twitter to fix their channel problems, only to look at their channel and find out that they have like 3,000 subscribers. I am that guy with 3,000 subscribers, and what he is describing there is very real. Him and me are in a very different class. We are a very different class of individual, both in real life and on this platform. And the thing that compels me to post here and what my experience is so vastly different that calling myself a YouTuber feels like a LARP. I feel like the kid sitting next to the container showing people having fun and laughing together while eating ice cream. One of these is not like the other, but what I lack in institutional authenticity and skill, I would like to think I make up for in sincerity. I cannot reasonably hope to eke out any kind of sustainable gain or living on this website. That's not a thing that happens to niggas like me. But what I can count on is that somewhere out there, a real person finds this, they find the stuff I make, and they feel that no matter how gauche or juvenile the things I write might be, they are me spilling my guts out in a way that I used to be able to do before I became an adult. You can trust and believe that the shit I say on here is stuff I believe with the deepest core of my soul. The thank you for watching my videos that I've put on every video I've ever uploaded isn't just me stealing from Jacob Christensen. I mean it every single time, and I will continue to put it on everything I ever make because I am genuinely grateful for the piece of your time that you have given me. Every comment, even the mean ones. Now that I've gotten all that out of the way, I still owe you a 10,000 subscriber milestone video, and seeing as how so many of you kind people sent your questions in, it would be disrespectful of me to let them die with my abortive first attempt. So this video will be split into two parts. The first part is where I answer your questions, and then in the second part, I will read you a very bad short story that I wrote that got rejected in a writing competition recently as a token of my sincerity. So please don't be mean about it. Alright. First question. If you were to compile a petrol and coffee reading list, what books would be on it? Right now it would have to be Ways of Seeing by John Berger, both the documentary and the book, because seeing John Berger's work as a teenager was formative for me. It felt like at the end of that program and after reading that book, I was able to see a dimension of the world that had previously been obscured to me. And then Big Red Sun by David Foster Wallace. Big Red Sun has some of the best magazine writing ever. Wallace was as much a genius with his finger on the pulse of contemporary culture as he was a nerd, asshole, and absolute loser piece of shit. The last paragraph on this thing is so fucking funny. If he lived long enough to see an OnlyFans model, he would explode. Okay, and then Divine Surveillance, Tales from the Black Site. The prose in this book is very clunky, but what it lacks in proficiency, it makes up for in a crystal clear political vision and just unbridled hate. Just, oh my god, my life circumstances have conspired to make me a deeply hateful person, and I honor that hate. I hate earnestly and with my whole chest. My hate is pure in the Alexander Coburn sense, but even I can't touch the heights that this book reaches, man. J. Vin Tremblay is a psycho. You can find this for free on the internet. Like, if I had a book club, this would be essential reading. This book this book has went platinum in my home specifically. It is very emotionally important to me. How do you come up with your scripts? Mine always come out bad. Find a topic that you're interested in, or like a subject that you care very deeply about, especially the parts that you know about, like, and read non-fiction books about it. Then read David Foster Wallace's collection of essays and Karl Uwe Knausgaard's collection of essays, and watch how those motherfuckers assemble a point. After doing that, keep writing, write and rewrite, and write until it's less bad than before. I have never liked a single one of my scripts ever, with maybe one exception. I am like a terrible writer, horrifically undisciplined, but I still did it because, well, what the fuck are they gonna do? Take my computer away? Also, very important, very crucial. Find one person who you know, who has good taste, who you have a pre-existing relationship with, that will not lie to you, and then run ideas by them and tell them to be as mean as they possibly can. I don't know if that's good advice, but you know, that's what I do. Any advice for a uni student trying? Don't do what I did. Go out there, talk to people, don't hate yourself, and engage with everything as seriously as you possibly can. I wasted so much time in university hating myself, and those are hours I cannot get back. I wasted so much time being ashamed. If I had manned up and actually did the shit I wanted to do, I would probably be a lot farther in so many aspects of my life. So, you know, engage it honestly and with the full might that your soul will allow you. When making videos or art, do you ever get insecure about flaws? How do you deal with it? I don't deal with it. I hate everything I've ever made, but I understand that even if it's bad, it's mine, and only I can make it in this particular flavor of dog shit. So then I can mold it into something passable or beautiful if I try really, really hard. What are your favorite books, films, anime, TV series? Okay. Manga would have to be Billy Bat by Naoki Urasawa. It is my favorite comic. I love all the Urasawa comic, but this one is special to me. It is one of the reasons I will never stop drawing. It is one of the most expansive stories ever. It is my favorite conspiracy story, first of all, and just a real beautiful work of art. I'm so glad that it's being re-released. There will be a Billy Bat video on this channel very soon, you know, seeing if I get less employed. Slaughterhouse-5 by Kurt Vonnegut. It is very naive and sentimental, but part of me can't help but love it and love him. It is a beautiful book and one of my favorite portrayals of like deterministic futures that doesn't feel absolutely suffocating and, you know, demonic. Anime, Black Lagoon, Neon Genesis Evangelion. These are very normie picks, but what can I say? I'm very much like those guys on my anime list. I can't resist a good crying boy and a cool robot, or a salaryman who must face death in the name of freedom. TV series. That's a difficult one. I guess it would have to be like Breaking Bad, because much like everybody else, I watched Breaking Bad and it was like a religious experience. Yeah, I'm very basic. My tastes are very pedestrian, unless we're talking music. But like in terms of art, in movies and TV, yeah, that's mostly me. What is your favorite animated series that isn't anime, or what type of shows do you enjoy? Also, congrats on hitting 10K. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. My favorite non-anime animated series would have to be Venture Brothers. It is one of the best shows ever. To watch Venture Brothers is to watch two guys be on the same wavelength in a way no two humans have ever been before. Doug Hammer and Jackson Public are soulmates. They are insanely talented. My heart aches whenever I see them. I want what they have so bad. Watch Venture Brothers. The first season is kinda rough, but when it gets going, man.
Why did I let you take this job? Because I'm great!
The kind of TV shows I enjoy. I like a lot of prestige dramas. I've been watching this Norwegian crime thriller. I forgot what it's called. It's called Pagan Peak. I literally just remembered as I was editing this. That's so annoying. Will we ever get a dog nigger video? Probably. There's a lot going on there. There is so much going on there that like at some point I'm going to have to sit down and look at it with an open mind and an open heart. But it's so much, man. What is your favorite medium that you want to work in? I don't really have like a favorite medium per se. I have stuff that is, shorthand to me. I've done exhibitions, I've done a bunch of stuff, but like I don't have a favorite medium really. I want to do so much, man. Like I wish I had the time. I want to do more live camera stuff. I'm never gonna appear on camera. That's just not like the kind of life I want to live. But I've shot some documentary type stuff for work, and that's been a fun learning experience, and I'd like to carry that over into my own personal projects. I want to executive produce someone else. I want to edit something and not be assaulted by my own voice. I want to make art with other people. This is such a lonely pursuit. Like you have no idea how isolating being like making YouTube videos is, man. Oh my god. Favorite color? Green. What do you do every day? Well, I spend most of my waking hours either working for barely any money or thinking I need to work on my channel, or I'm not working hard enough. I need to work harder. So in short, I suffer. The following is a reading of a short story I wrote for a local story competition. Needless to say, I did not win. I did not come close, and after I read it to you, you will understand why. The story is called Baldwin in Paris. Okay, let me get comfortable. I feel like Baldwin in Paris. The Libyans assure me that the bombs I'm making here are the first step to freeing my countrymen from the tyranny of colonialism. I tell them that Lesotho gained independence a decade ago, and they tell me that it's not the right kind of independence. We don't have planned economies. Men and women still toil for the benefit of their oppressors in Westminster. I know where Westminster is. I learned that at Hilton College. The teachers taught us that the crown had given us an opportunity to join the rest of the world in the 20th century, to be civilized like them. The man who told me that was let go due to his unbecoming conduct with one of the boys. That boy was me. That boy now feels like Baldwin in Paris. The Arabs are magnanimous hosts. They treat us all as equals, from the Russians to the Singaporeans, Soto and some German. They don't mind that we like to drink and seduce the German women, who also don't seem to mind that we are black as long as we don't mind their manes of armpit hair and the fact that they have not bathed in what must be years, judging from the strength of the smell. We meet in the cover of darkness and discuss matters of state and desire. Anslin is my favorite. She tells me of Mao Zedong and all he did for his people, and how he defied Marxist-Leninist orthodoxy by mobilizing the peasantry instead of the industrial working class as a revolutionary force. I tell her about Thomas Mofolo and his beautiful yet limited works, how he was constrained by his religious upbringing and his need to be a good boy. I tell her about the far-reaching implications of coordinated violence in the imperial core and the periphery, how we must spill as much Coca-Cola blood as we possibly can. We cradle in the darkness and I read her my fiction. I tell her I feel like Baldwin in Paris.
Figures. You're a very smart man, but do you know what else Baldwin was doing in Paris?
Acquiring a taste for French women.
We can't forget about the men.
How can we ever forget about the men?
So what say you, Mr. Baldwin?
I carry the memory of that night like a light in my lantern dutifully. I take my skills back home and I kill ministers of the stooge government. I blow up bridges in Bega, bus stops in Botabote, fuel lines in Maceo. I had nothing to do with the bus incident near the palace. That was amateur work. Even after our chief abandoned us to take control of the government, I maintain my comrades who went back to their meager, small lives at the end of the war. Baldwin returned to the United States in a coffin. I will return to Lesotho in the same condition. The end of our adventures in Mushasha's mountains leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't work so hard to institute liberal austerity. I don't let this discourage me. There is still meaningful work to be done elsewhere in the world. The memory of my dear Gudrun's warmth carries me to the sands of Lebanon, to help identify the Hebrew on some failed ordinance and to root out Christo-fascist Israeli sympathizers with vicious force. Gudrun Enslin is dead. She died in her prison cell much like many of her comrades. Her memory carries me to the madrasas in Pakistan, where I teach the dedicated young men about controlling their blast areas. They are very studious. I also teach them about exit plans and safe distances, and they seem less interested. The Soviets have become an imperial force and must be repelled in the lands that they attempt to conquer. Gone are the days of Lenin. James Baldwin is dead. When he died, I was in a jungle camp drawing out battle plans for the sun god and his tigers. My fiction gains a small but steady audience across the world. Reviewers call me the African J.G. Ballard. I'm not entirely sure what they mean by that, but I'm flattered nonetheless. Mail delivered to my address back home informs me that my books are read in school corners and under bridges by the dedicated few, most of whom are in various drug-associated subcultures. I feel like Luigi Galliani. I attend small gatherings of these along with similar authors, and they pass around pleasantries. One fan comes in and all of his clothes are store-bought, fresh. The shirt he's wearing still has retail hanger creases on it, and I can see the tag sticking out. No one here knows who I really am, but this man clearly portends something grim for my continued existence in the world of urban munitions. I smile at him and sign the copy of my book he has. I slip into the back and leave before his cohorts can apprehend me. Before I leave for the Balkans, I visit Baldwin's grave in New York. Here, I feel like he did in Ebenezer Baptist Church on that fateful Tuesday. The world is as violent as it has ever been, but that meaning has been marginalized. I watch a Chechnyan soldier cleave a Russian's head off with a pocket knife. I watch Samuel Doe beg for his life in front of his bloodshot assailant's eyes. I watch children in Sierra Leone smoke opium off of large diamonds and recite Tupac lyrics with the passion that those songs well met. I am very tired. James Baldwin is dead. Ntsumokgehle is dead. Gudrun Enslin is dead. I read the last letter she sent me shortly before they were apprehended. How she wishes she had got back to Lesotho with me, to lead normal lives. Germany is not worth saving. Andreas Bader is a bad leader and an even worse man. My mind swims with visions of her sitting on my family's cowhide in a blue seshwesh. In this moment, I feel like Seratsacham. Every day draws me nearer to my death. I wonder how Baldwin felt in those last days in the French countryside. Did he feel the way I do now?